Good morning. Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 80 and we are here at Barefoot Beach in Southwest Florida. This is the Gulf of Mexico behind me, and today it is still very windy like yesterday, but unlike yesterday I had a great idea, and there are these little covered areas with picnic tables, and I'll show you. There's a picnic table here and I'm just kind of in a cubby inside the natural mangrove brush area. Good morning, Lily. Thank you for joining me. So I feel like we're a little bit protected from the wind here. Otherwise, you would not have enjoyed Yarn on the Beach down there again today. Good morning, Karen. Thank you for joining me. So luckily I had a better idea today than yesterday. Good morning, Connie. Thanks for joining me. I've always wanted to do a little beach picnic party at one of these tables. It is beautiful, Lily. I will pick up the camera so you can, in fact, let's come out here for just a minute so you can see. Actually, the ones over here have roofs on them, but I actually like this one for because the roof has been damaged. But you see, it's just a little cubby, and I'm sure that there are snakes and bunnies and other kinds of wildlife in the brush, but I'm going to try to forget about that. Because I'm going to assume they're cold this morning and don't want to bother me either. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Elisa. Thanks for joining me. It is chilly out here this morning. It's only about, gosh, I want to say it's 55 degrees, I think. A little bit better in here than the wind out there. It's still a little windy, but hopefully not too windy for the microphone. Good morning, Tanya. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze. It'll probably come in a minute. So I wanted to show you some progress about what I'm working on. Good morning, Angie from Sydney. Thanks for joining. Thank you all for joining. If you're just logging in, please say hi and tell me what you're crafting on this morning. Good morning, Elizabeth. Yes, Karen, it is a beautiful spot. I love this spot. I never come here. Hi, Yana. I never come here because I always seem to come to the beach alone. But if I ever came with a group, this is where I would want to host a picnic party. Bring all sorts of yummy food and maybe even decorate this. Can you imagine hanging mandalas on this wooden frame? I'll lift it up again so you can see. Can you imagine hanging mandalas there to blow in the wind? Wouldn't that be beautiful for a party? Good morning, Devora. Karen finished her mitered square blanket. That's great, wonderful. So I've been working hard on my knit and crochet projects in the brand new Yarn on the Beach colorway for Be So Fine and Be So Fine and Be So Sporty Bling, which is those two yarns with a thread of pure silver, not synthetic silver, but pure silver threaded through the yarn. And so you see the Be So Fine version, I've gotten quite a bit of progress done on my vest or cardigan. Can't decide what I'm going to make out of it yet, but you see it's really, let's see if we can get it out of the shadow. Not sure you can pick up the silver in this shot, but it is really subtly but beautifully sparkly. And so we've got the vest yoke done, we've got the armholes done, and I did the bottom of the vest or cardigan, can't decide, with side vents. So you see this side is done, and then I started on the middle because for me, I'm a curvy girl and it's really important to me to have lots of hip ease in garments. I like longer garments, but they have to have enough ease for hips for me to feel comfortable and beautiful. So I put side vents in instead of shaping because that's the easier way to create shaping. So we're going to do side vents in this, and that way you can have a longer vest that not only has hip ease but also has a lot of room for walking. You not only need the width of your hips, but you need enough space to walk and move in it too. So that's what we're doing. And instead of a button, I'm going to do some sort of a tie on the front so that you could not only tie it right here, you could also wrap it and tie it in the back, or even lace up the front. All three ways that I love to tie a cardigan or a vest. So this is one whole ball of Be So Fine Bling in Yarn on the Beach colorway. Wonder if you can see the colors in the horizon and recognize the colorway, because I designed this color and dyed it specifically with this view in mind, which was so fun. And I'm really happy with the way it came out. So, okay, so this is the progress on the vest. I think it's going to look so beautiful against skin. Like, it's got such a neutral, warm tone to it with the peach and the gold and the mauve that it'll be really beautiful against the skin with the sparkle. And then the pops of iris purple and sky blue are just so inviting and beautiful. Imagine that on like a tank top style dress where you got to see your skin through it. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Or even wearing this over a tan or taupe linen dress. I think that would be just gorgeous. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to buy or wear or make to wear under that. So still working on that. And not only that, but I started a knit project last night in the Be So Sporty bling yarn, also in colorway Yarn on the Beach. So here's, I keep going in the shadow. Let's see if I put it over here. So here's the Be So Sporty version, wound in a ball, and then here it is in the Hank version. So you can see all those beautiful colors. Sherry, there will be. I can't do tutorials until I have photos and finished patterns, so you're actually just seeing behind the scenes sneak peek. But as soon as I have the project done and photographed, I'll be able to do the photos. I'll be able to do the tutorial and videos. So it is coming, and there are lots of sizes. So whether you or someone you love and want to make it for is a small or a larger size, I will have lots of sizes to choose from. And so now this is the knit project. I'm working on a shrug, but a shrug that has really wide sleeves so that it hangs down low in the back. So it's basically a rectangle that we're going to sew up a little bit on the sides. So it couldn't be easier, but what I thought was going to be really beautiful is to alternate bands of stockinette and reverse stockinette. So it's 5 rows of stockinette and 5 rows of reverse stockinette, so you get this beautiful texture without taking away from the beauty of the hand-dyed colorway and the sparkle. Wanted it to be as simple as possible. So this one's going to be super duper easy. This is already a free pattern on my website, so if you wanted to follow along, the pattern is already available. It's called the Bonita Shrug, and it is shown in Be So Sporty yarn. However, it's shown in Be So Sporty yarn in colorway Passionate Plum, but if you search that on my website, you could follow along and work on this with me. And I'll do a tutorial video and new photos when I finish this one, but you can see it could not be simpler. This is absolutely a beginner project, and I have to say, over the years, this has been one of my favorite pieces to wear also. It's so easy to throw over anything. I actually lost my sample a couple of years ago doing a trunk show at a shop. I have no idea which shop still has it, but hopefully they're using it in good health, and I'm really excited to make another one of it because, like I said, it is one of my favorite pieces to wear. It's just so easy, breezy, loose, and because of the drape of the yarn, it just flows so nicely. It hugs your shoulder and then has drape under your arms, and it just, oh, love it. And I'm so excited to be able to wear it again. Karen's making banana bread this morning. That sounds good. I've been working on a recipe for cultured probiotic cream cheese, and it is really turning out well. Now the next step before posting the pattern is to make a couple of flavors. So I've been on a mission to find chives in grocery stores for a couple of days, and everybody is sold out of chives when I'm looking for it. How crazy is that? Elizabeth is making kale soup. That sounds great. So I'm going to do one sweet flavor where I'm going to swirl cinnamon and honey through the vegan cream cheese that's cultured and probiotic, and then in another variation I'm going to do chives, which is my favorite, and then I'm thinking I'm going to do a smoked salmon and fresh dill flavor and photograph them and get that recipe up to share with all of you. It tastes remarkably similar to dairy cream cheese, but obviously has much better health benefits and a much better carbon footprint and much more kind to animals. So I'm really excited to share it with all of you. I'm excited to be eating it as well. I see somebody asked about the scarf I'm wearing, and that is a great question because it's not even a scarf. If I stand up and you can see it, this is actually the Brooklyn shawl from my new book, Motif Magic, and I've shown how to wear it a couple of ways so far. This is the full-size shawl. How pretty is that, especially with the beach behind it? So we've got bands of motifs and bands of rows of stitches that are a deconstruction of the motif. The rows are actually a row from the motif that's deconstructed and put into the bands. So not only can you wear it traditionally as a shawl, or even offset as a shawl that way, you can also wear it as a kerchief style cowl where you bunch it up and put the corner in the front, wrap it around your neck, and then as you scrunch this up, you can tie it with the two ends and then pull this through, and it's like a voluminous cowl. But that's not even the way I was wearing it today. I'm going to show you a fourth way that I enjoy wearing this as well. So let's stand back up again. You know, and the beauty of working with bamboo and other super drapey yarns is that it doesn't matter what you do with it, the drape really does all the talking. So we're going to fold it in half at the point. So we've got our two ends, and now we're going to use it as a keyhole scarf. So I've got it folded in half, wrap it around my neck, pull the ends through, pull my braids out. And so I've got my two ends, and just, did I miss one? There we go. And just kind of fluff it around. Oh yes, Deborah, this would be gorgeous in bling. What wouldn't be gorgeous in the new bling? I mean, you could take the beauty of choosing Be So Fine and Be So Sporty as the base for this new bling yarn on the beach colorway is that you can go back on my website and search through the hundreds of free patterns for Be So Fine and Be So Sporty yarn, and there's already a ton of patterns for all of it too. So really, sky's the limit. What wouldn't look good in something that's a warm skin tone with pops of color and bling, with that beautiful base of 100% bamboo that it just has the most incredible drape. But I like it in this color too. This is Be So Sporty yarn in colorway Lilac Memories, which was aptly named from my favorite flower growing up in Michigan. And this pattern and many more are available in my brand new book, Motif Magic, available at Amazon on Prime in many countries throughout the world, available on my website, available at Barnes & Noble, and also available on Kindle if you would prefer a digital copy. Yes, you could make it with the new yarn, that's correct. Thank you, Mary. I'm glad you like everything. I appreciate it so much. For anybody who is interested, I haven't mentioned this in a couple of days, I think, but my Facebook group, Create, Share, Inspire with Kristin Omdahl, is a safe and friendly place for you to share your finished projects with my yarns or my patterns. Also a place to share my recipes that you've made with other people who are there to encourage you and make you feel like a friend and make you feel special. So if you're interested in joining, by all means, please look for it on Facebook, and it takes a few minutes for me to approve it, but you're welcome to join us. It's a way for everybody that's gotten to know each other during the live Yarn on the Beach streams to get to know each other better. Oh, Karen answered a question for Sherry that she blocks acrylic all the time. Yes, I also believe that you can block acrylic. In the industry, it's called killing the yarn, which I hate that name, but what happens is you break down the fiber with hot steam, and it does actually transform the yarn into a flatter and somewhat drapier texture. Oh, Shirley found the yarn. Great! Wonderful. If you have any questions, let me know as I sit here and untangle a knot. For those of you who are new to untangling knots or things like that, the first piece of advice I can tell you is never pull on it very hard. The way to make something small into something, a small problem into a bigger problem, is by adding pressure to it. Oh, Audrey has made new friends at Create, Share, Inspire. I'm so happy to hear that. I have to tell you, the whole experience of creating a Facebook page has been so special. Yes, Connie, I think I remember sending your book yesterday. Thank you so much. I thought it was a fun way for everybody to get to know each other, but it's been really an incredible experience for me to see the results of my teaching, and to see what everybody has made from learning from me has been such an incredibly warm and fuzzy experience for me, and I didn't even make the page with that intention, so it's been a really nice surprise it's been a nice surprise along the way. So I'm really enjoying everybody getting to know each other and talking on there, and it's just not even sure what else I'm going to do to make it bigger and better, but at the moment it's just been a warm and fuzzy experience, and that's good enough for right now. And I've been hearing from other people that it's been a warm and fuzzy experience for them too. Thanks, Karen. I'm so happy to have you there. Oh, love the sweater. Karen made a DK weight knit sweater in 3 days and talked about it one morning here at Yarn on the Beach and posted photos in there. And it was a legit sweater. Oh my God. She made it. Looked great on you, by the way. And it was just amazing that she did that in 3 days. You're fast like me. Yes, Audrey, it's a great warm place to support each other. Absolutely. We've got enough places without warm and fuzzy support in this world. I'm so glad that I can make one little corner warm and fuzzy. I try to pretend like it's an extension of my home, and if I had everybody visiting in my house, I would make it warm and fuzzy. And so to have that extension in a Facebook group and to be able to give everybody a special place where you can feel welcome and safe is really rewarding for me. Oh, Karen wants to start her own blog and podcast. That's great. Wonderful. There's lots of great advice on there, on the internet. If you do some Google searches for some top 10 tips, there's all sorts of advice and information out there. The first one that comes to mind is consistency. You just have to decide how often you want to commit to doing something and stick to it. But that would be my first bit of advice, is thinking long and hard about what you're willing to commit to, and make sure that you can commit to whatever you promise, because consistency is one of the 3 major components. Oh, great. Good for you, Karen. What's the name of it if anybody wants to join? Why don't you share the name of it on here so anybody can find it? Or if you want, why don't you share it and Create, Share, Inspire later today, and then anybody that wants to follow you over there can. Oh, which reminds me, I have a Pinterest group also. If anybody's interested in Pinterest and you have any sort of small business in the creative world, let's say you make and sell handmade projects on Etsy or whatever, if you sell patterns in Ravelry or your website, I have a collaborative Pinterest group called Create, Share, Inspire with Kristin Omdahl. And if you would like to join my group, it is a place where I encourage you to share your small business with everybody that follows my small business. So anybody after the podcast, or after today's podcast, wants to be invited to my Pinterest board, please send me an email or something like that and share with me your Pinterest email address. What I mean is the email address you sign up, you log in on Pinterest with, and I can invite you to that group. I think it's a great way to not only collaborate, but also share each other's businesses to just, I don't know, help each other out. I didn't have a whole lot of mentors when I started in this business, and I want to make a difference. So anytime I can help somebody else out, I really like to. Like if somebody asks me if they can have my permission to use my patterns to sell items in craft fairs or on Etsy, I always like to give my permission, and asking for credit, mind you, but then I like to share their work as well. So Pinterest is a great place where we can share people's listings. Good morning, Mariana. Karen says her group also became a guild. Wow, that's exciting. And that's in Ohio, right? I don't even know how to do that. Hi, Janet. Thanks for joining. The guy just blew his nose without a Kleenex. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but I did. What a juvenile sense of humor, but I can't help it. And ooh, gross. Janet, I think that you might have been the person that's been asking me on Facebook and in email, and I not only replied to you, but I replied to you with pictures of my mermaid blanket. Did you not see it yet? I have been mulling over some boutique sales. Oh, that sounds fun, Audrey. Okay, good. Janet had a question with the way that you slip stitch to join the mermaid tail to the body of the Afghan, the one that was on the cover of Interweave Crochet magazine, I think 2 summers ago. And so she was not liking the way the two like you change color as you slip stitch from one to the other, and she didn't like the way 2 of the strands of the slip stitch showed up, and she was concerned that it was wrong. And so because I use my mermaid blanket as a throw decoration on my couch year round, it was very easy for me to show her a photo of both sides of that slip stitch joint of my blanket. How great was that? And was able to show her that mine looks the same way on the back side, and that I show it on the front side on my couch, and you don't see those 2 strands. But it's just the same way with changing colors in garter stitch. You've got one side that shows the extra bumps and one side that doesn't, and if you don't like it, that can be the wrong side. And if you do like it, it's okay. Janet, yeah, I shared the photos with your question on Facebook. You're welcome. I'm glad I could answer it so specifically with photos. It's not every day that one of my hundreds of patterns I happen to have handy to send someone a photo and tell them that what they're doing is a-okay. Shirley, I don't know what you're talking about. Did someone act weird in here? Sorry about that if somebody did. I can't see all the comments, unfortunately. And unlike YouTube, I don't know how to report or get somebody out of here if someone's been inappropriate. So if anybody has any advice on that, or maybe I'm misreading Shirley's comment, I don't know. Oh, the man on the beach. Okay. Phew, I'm glad we haven't had any weirdos this morning then. That's great. Well, besides him. Yeah, the nose blower. Okay, I get it now. I'm glad everyone else found that funny like me. Making progress here. I'm finishing my next band of reverse stockinette here, and then I'm going to get ready to start my next band of stockinette. Alice says it's wet and cold in South Africa. Brr. Thank you, Raina, and thanks for joining me from South Africa. The scarf that I'm wearing is called the Brooklyn Shawl. It's actually a large triangular shawl that I like to style and wear in several ways, and it's one of the projects from my new book, Motif Magic. No, Lily, it wasn't, but it sure is a nice view now. I love this view this morning. It's a little different than our normal view because we're normally really close to the water, but because it's so windy, this felt like a safer. Oh, Connie, yeah, you have 5 sons, you've seen it all. Absolutely. I have 1 son, and I've seen quite a bit myself. Oh, warm up to 50. That's going to feel balmy to you, Karen, in Ohio. I saw a meme on Facebook a while back. It said, someone asked this woman, what's it like living with a son? And so, I forget how it all went, so I'm going to paraphrase and probably botch it. So the woman proceeded to go in the bathroom, pee all over everything but the toilet, go in the kitchen, eat all the food, do something else, and then come over and tell her he loved her at the end. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And that's the endearing part, that it always ends with an I love you. Oh yeah, that's it. Spitting on the ground, Shirley doesn't like that either. Yeah, I know. There's lots of things to like about them too. I'm sure we do things they don't like as well. Like cry at commercials and cry in movies that aren't supposed to be sad. Yes, Susan, men are a funny breed, and I guarantee they're getting together and saying we're the same thing. Isn't that funny? It's all relative. Yes, exactly. Love them for their differences, Shirley. Good, I'm glad, Connie. Oh, there's a little bird in here. The only thing I don't want to see are any snakes this morning, because I know they're back here. Hopefully they're nice and cold and burrowed up in something. Oh, Alice, that's good. I'm glad. Her sons were naughty when they were younger, but grew up to be pleasant young men. Excellent. Oh, Tanya, I didn't say what kind of tea I'm drinking today. I'm still drinking the one that one of our Yarn on the Beach viewers sent me. This week she sent me a green tea that has Japanese matcha, green tea, echinacea, and elderberry in it, and it's really nice. It's actually mild considering all of the immunity boosters in it. I thought it was going to taste a lot more like medicine because of the nature of it, but it's not. It's nice and mild, and it's been great on my stomach as I've been getting better from whatever bug I had earlier this week. Oh, we've got metal detectors here today. Can you see them behind? Lily has a 2-year-old son. Oh, what a fun age. Marlon was just getting into dinosaurs and trains at 2 years old. Yes, exactly, Audrey. All excellent medicine in that tea. So I am drinking it exclusively while I am getting over my stomach bug. Yes, Shirley, I have seen the matcha green tea cookies. They look delicious. Oh, I showed a photo of the tea yesterday, and I'm going to post it in my Amazon shop later today. I can share it with you there and tell you about it tomorrow. Ah, Beatrice, see, there's a good write-off. Her husband's weird, but he takes care of her when he needs to, and yeah, it's all, the bottom line. That's what matters, right? Embracing people's differences and the bottom line. Oh, I bet, Lily. When Marlon was 2 years old, I was just starting my business, and I'll tell you what, I worked through the night. I had to work only when he was sleeping, so during naps, and once he went to bed at night, there was a really sleep-deprived time of my life, but I had to start my business, so there really was no alternative. But there was no way to knit or crochet while he was awake. No way. 2-year-olds are a handful. Yes, Lily, when Marlon was 2, that was when he was really young, like before he started kindergarten. It was a very sleep-deprived time for me, because in order to start my business, I had to work when he was asleep, which meant I wasn't sleeping. Does your new bling yarn come in a hank? No, I wind everything into a center pull ball. I forget who said that, but I wind all of the yarn into a center pull ball for you, so when you buy the yarn, it'll come already wound like this. Comes in a organza drawstring storage bag with a pod of Wrapture, my all-natural delicate wash, so that you can not only try Wrapture, but also wash and block your shawl for the first time with it. Is anyone else a fan of Wrapture here? Good morning, Julie from Chile, Michigan. I'm getting ready to start my I'm ready to block my 3-color shawl today. Remember that crochet shawl that I've been working on? It's ready for blocking, and I'm getting ready to do the blocking video for it today. So pretty excited about that. I've begun all the other tutorial videos for it. Brandy loves Wrapture. She says it smells amazing. Thank you. The scent is all natural essential oil jasmine, night blooming jasmine. Gina, what color is this yarn? Do you mean this yarn? This is the brand new Be So Sporty Bling, which means it's Be So Sporty yarn with a thread of pure silver, not synthetic metallic, but pure silver, spun through the yarn, and this is a hand-dyed colorway that I created called Yarn on the Beach to replicate our beautiful sunrise natural palette here at the beach. It's available in my shop. You can find the Yarn on the Beach colorway in Be So Fine Bling and Be So Sporty Bling. I can show you, I started a vest in the fine version. This is what it looks like so far. And then I'm working on a knit shrug in the sporty version. What do you lay? Susan wants to know what I lay my items on to block. I use those rubberized, I think they're rubber, I'm not sure what they are. They're puzzle blocks. They're blocking boards, I think. And so I have a whole bunch of them, and I lay them out and use rust-proof pins. So I give my garment or project a quick soak in a lukewarm bowl of water with a teaspoon of Wrapture. Let that sit for a few minutes so it absorbs through the yarn. I press out the excess water. Do not wring, because it can manipulate your stitches, but you want to press it out so you can roll it in a towel and press out the excess water, then lay it flat and shape it on the board, and then pin it, you know, stretch it to your finished size desired, pin it, and then let it sit to dry. They are a form of rubber. Okay, thanks, Karen. Is anybody here interested in sock yarn or in making socks? Because I've come across a really incredible natural blend of sock yarn that is specifically with socks in mind. It has a durable, stretchy component to it, but it's all natural, all plant-based, and I just wanted to throw that out there and see what everybody thinks about that. Brandy, Be So Sporty is twice as thick as Be So Fine. Be So Fine yarn is 650 yards per 4 ounce hank, and Be So Sporty is 325 yards per 4 ounce hank. So you could actually think of it in terms of doubling it. Audrey loves to make socks. Okay, great. So what would you think of a plant-based fiber blend that is completely natural? Like, I found a sock that replaces the nylon with a natural fiber too. Elisa, yes, there's a different, sock yarn is thicker than fingering but thinner than sport. So it actually has a different texture to it as well, this one that I'm looking at, and it almost has an animal fiber fuzziness to it in the texture, almost, but it is 100% plant-based, including the the nylon component, the thing that you would normally put nylon in to give it more stability and give it a little more strength. I found one that uses a plant-based fiber instead of that. So if anybody thinks that sounds interesting, Audrey says that would be preferable to nylon to her as well. Okay, cool, because I'm always interested in things. Most sock yarns are fingering. It feels thicker. It's thicker than Be So Fine yarn, but I think it's closer to Be So Sporty yarn in yardage. I have to double check, but it's really beautiful. Really, it has very high wearability, Audrey, because of this. It's a corn-based stabilizer in it. The yarn's made from bamboo. The stabilizer, which replaces the nylon, is made from corn, and it's very wearable because of that. So I'm toying around with it, and I have some samples at my house right now, and I just wanted to throw it out there and see if anybody is interested in a sock yarn. I think it would also make beautiful shawls and garments because I think it would block beautifully, and it just has a different texture from the other bamboo and cotton yarns that I have now. Which reminds me, I have samples coming this week for 2 new yarns as well. Really excited to show you those. One of them is a logical fit for growing Kristin Omdahl yarns, and one of them is a crazy idea that I am just sparkly-eyed about and don't know why, so it'll be interesting to see if you guys are too. I found this sample, or found this yarn that I'll show you when it gets here. Can't wait to see you. Okay, Mary says sock yarn is something she'd be interested in as well. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, what else do you like to make with sock yarn besides socks? I know one of these days I'd like to make lace stockings out of them, but what else do you like to make with sock yarn besides socks? You know I heard an animal when you see my face show panic. Audrey, I'm so glad to hear that. That's great. My mind's always going a million miles an hour, so. Oh, Shirley makes dog coats with sock yarn. Oh, that would be so cute. Yes. Also an item that needs to be durable. Yes. Oh, shorts would be great, Karen, yes. Yeah, the texture of the yarn is really beautiful, and I think it would make gorgeous shawls and wraps also. Like what beautiful yarn doesn't look good as a shawl or a wrap, right? Okay, so we are coming along here. I've made some progress today. Okay, Donna, good. I'm so glad to hear all of this. Thank you all for your feedback. It's so wonderful to get your feedback as I'm developing new yarns to see if they're going to be a good fit for us. Just because I get excited about something doesn't mean it makes sense for the brand. I need to make sure everybody else is excited too. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it, everyone. Thank you. And I think we're almost out of time here, so let's take a last minute here and feast our eyes on this magnificent view. Oh, I think I see a big boat out there. Does anybody else see the boat? I love how we're framed in with all of these trees this morning. It's so pretty. Just want to soak in the last few moments of this beautiful morning sunrise color palette and the sound of the waves. Set our intention for the day. While I work on shipping orders today, I'm going to dream about hosting a party in this cute little spot today. I'm so in love with this little spot we found. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to spend a little time with me here this morning. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise on the beach. I hope you enjoyed the sound of the waves and chatting with me. If you like Yarn on the Beach podcast, please give it a thumbs up or like or whatever the button is. Please share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.